Okay. Chat, just in case. I don't know. Um, hello, hello. I have not. God, I keep getting worried that I'm gonna show information that I don't want to show. Fine though. So, uh, I've been gone for about 3 weeks on YouTube, and I always reach this kind of point where I will be making YouTube videos. I'll be doing streaming for YouTube videos, and then after a while, I just go away, and I want to address that because I want to face it head on. And I want to make sure that I actually push forward. Um, there's been a couple of things that's kind of significantly happened recently. Um, a lot of stuff in therapy, mostly. But also with work, work's been a massive struggle as of recent. Uh, and it's reached a point where I really want to quit, but I can't really do it. Part of the reason that I've made this YouTube video to begin with, not this YouTube video, sorry, this YouTube channel to begin with, was that I could start to develop a portfolio for myself that moves away from the line of work that I'm currently at, which is development for the record. So I want to go into a more creative outlet. Um, Now, a lot of the therapy that I've been going through is what exactly do I want my creative outlet to be? Certainly in music, that's certainly an aspect, but also been really getting into this kind of animation stuff, which I'll get to in a bit. I've also got a lot of talent when it comes to just understanding different technologies. So, like I mentioned 3 weeks back, I was when I last uploaded, and we went through DaVinci Resolve, and frankly, I already know a ton of how to deal with DaVinci Resolve. You know, DaVinci Resolve is I'm not saying it's easy for me, and I'm not saying I understand it fully, but I can certainly grasp the basics quickly because of my knowledge from other softwares like Unity and Blender and uh, Unreal Engine. You know, there's a lot of qualities that come from those that really you can transfer a lot of skills from one of those technologies to another. That's not to say though that I'm an expert. You know, I'm probably still only about as good as someone who's only done a term of DaVinci Resolve. You know, like I'm not gonna claim to be an expert. Um, where was I going with this? So the big thing is that I've been for the past 3 weeks now that I've learned DaVinci Resolve. I went ahead and said, right, I'm going to set up some cameras. Well, not some cameras. I only got one camera, my main camera here. I've also got, I guess my phone technically, but my main camera is this camera, so it's a Lumix G7. I recently got a new lens for it actually, which is pretty cool. Um, it was I realized that you could get lenses without a zoom. That was one thing I learned. But this is a very cool lens. As long as you get it in the right position, um, you can take very, very high quality photos with it. I didn't realize how significant a the lens would change the what would the word be? Change the look, I guess, like the aesthetics. I don't know, whatever you want to say. The lens would change quite a lot of how these things would work. So I basically filmed myself in various locations, which is the video that I got here that I'll go through in a bit. But essentially, filmed myself in various locations and um, then began to edit this video. So let me go through the whole process. So since I've been away, uh, I started off by filming myself in various locations. Now, I didn't know how to film. I don't know how to film really. I got this camera, and the reason I got this camera originally was to stream way back. Um, and I thought it would be a good streaming camera, and it meant that I could stick in a large 512 gigabyte SD card in here and basically just film without ever having to wipe the storage. So I thought it'd be good for like vlogging and all of that stuff, and it was for a little bit, but I just didn't stick with it. But now I'm using it for this kind of stuff. So I got that camera and I told myself, right, I need to film myself doing this. I need to film myself doing this. So I made a script, put down a whole script, told myself where I should be filming myself. So I started off by going, right, I want to make a video called Relaxing Day. I don't think I'm going to stick with that title, but I just called it Relaxing Day for the moment. And what it's going to be is that it's going to be me getting up out of bed, going into the shower, um, getting myself a cup of tea, placing the pot down, grabbing the guitar, and starting to play music. And it's kind of like an insight into the life of me, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of like a way of showing like a simple narrative that I could enjoy. So that was the first thing that I wanted to do. I knew that I could go for it because I could film myself in various locations. I could then edit the video either by using an AI generation tool, which I've used in the past. It's basically what is even called now, but it's like it uses normal diffusion, which is a type of AI generation to generate frames. If you watch Corridor, what is it? Corridor Digital. You watch their video on it. It's like a rock paper scissors animated. You'll see a version of that. That's where I've learnt the stuff from. A stable diffusion 101, something like that. Um, Anyway, I learned that process, and I thought it would be a cool way to do it. But the other way I thought about doing it was to draw each frame individually, which is what I've done here in the end. And uh, I'll go through that in a bit. But essentially, I went, right, I'm going to film myself in these various locations. And then I'm going to take those frames, reduce the rate so that it's at least somewhat manageable to draw, and then maybe re-record the audio a bit, and then I'd have a full animation. And I was hoping it would be all in color and it would be all beautiful. Uh, Work then decided to be a bitch and increase the amount of stuff that I needed to do. There was a lot of pressure, and at some point, quite recently, I broke, and I said to my boss I was going to not come in because I was just mentally burnt out. Um, there was a whole bunch of other crap with essentially there was a technology that we was using, and now we are abandoning that technology after 6 months of working on it. So it essentially feels like it's a waste of time, but apparently it's not a waste of time because we're going to go back to it anyway. So I don't know. I don't. It doesn't feel good, but um, I feel like I'm doing this as a rant, and I don't really want it to display as a rant. Screw it. Uh, so that's what happened with work. While I've been doing that, I've been doing this filming for this. So it took a little bit longer to do the filming than I was expecting, and also just getting the confidence to accept that I wasn't going to make the perfect angle, wasn't going to make the perfect film. But the thing is, after I went ahead and just went, fuck it, I'm just going to film it. I don't even care if it's bad or not. I'm just going to do a bad draft. This is my first attempt doing it. I'm just going to do a bad one. And you know what? I kind of like it. I do like the way that it looks. Um, so it kind of goes to show, like, you can just do a bad attempt of something. It's okay to do a bad attempt of it. Um, so in the end, I went ahead and did the filming, and then I did the editing, and the editing took longer than usual because I wasn't sure of how to reduce the frame rate. I didn't know that reducing the frame rate was going to be such a big deal, but it did ended up being it. There's a setting in Stable Diffusion called, not Stable Diffusion, in DaVinci called stop motion, and that allows you to repeat frames that are coming up. Although that doesn't reduce the frame rate, it does mean that you can remove those frames after the fact using, well, I use Dreams because Dreams can go at any frame rate that you want to. So the video is at 24 frames, but when I run it at 8 frames on this software, so this is Procreate Dreams, it just shows each frame once. So we have 8 frames now per second. So got to that, and now I've begun the drawing process, and the drawing process has also taken another week. So each time it's taken about a week. It took about a week to do the filming, took about a week to do the editing. Even though I say a week, what I really mean by that is that it took me a week to get on and do it, despite everything else that's been going on in life. And now it's taken about a week to do the drawing, and frankly, it's going to take this week to do the drawing, but it isn't finished now. It's probably, if I do carry on going, I might get the drawing finished by the end of this week. But it does mean that so I could get the drawing finished by the end of this week, but it would mean that it wouldn't have any color or sound yet. So I think it's still going to take another week at least to finish this project off. And I really wanted this project to just be like a week or two maximum. But instead this has become about a month's project, and it might turn into about a month and a half, which is insane. But let me just show you the result real quick. The result so far. So as I've gone, there's only one part where I've gone, you know what, I'm going to axe this bit because it doesn't translate too well in a drawing form. I actually don't know. Yeah, there isn't really much of a way that I can turn off the drawing. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Right. Oh, there is audio. But yeah, there's technically audio, but I don't want to show the audio. Chance we turn this down. Okay. No, I don't want the audio. Any way that I can ensure that you don't hear I'm gonna turn off the desktop audio. I don't want to show the audio. The audio is just background noise, but just in case, I just want to make sure that we don't have audio. So here's what it looks like. Note that you might see, I'm not naked, right? Well, technically I am, but you're never gonna see anything. It's just the top of my chest upwards, okay? Because there's one bit where I'm in the shower, but it's okay. Here is, why do I still hear it? Oh, I still hear it, but of course you're not gonna still hear it. I'm gonna turn my own audio down, so I don't want to hear it. Right, so here's the full animation so far. That's another thing that's gone wrong. I'll explain, screw it, everything. Oh, it didn't go. Okay, so that's up to what I've drawn. It continues with the guitar playing. I did a few frames just there because I was bored of drawing the same frames over and over again. So I've been drawing, I think overall there is like 400 drawings that I have to do. Like 400 drawings. Right now, uh, I can't remember exactly how many more I've got, but I think it's around about 144 drawings left. Once I've done those 144 drawings, I'll be done. I kind of want to go through some of the crap that has actually happened because there's been so much crap. Sorry, I'm just here's the animation without the thing. Sorry, I don't want to be ranting. I don't want to be ranting to you guys. Okay, let me just clap right now. We're not going to be ranting for a bit. So we're going to start fresh. Okay, we're going to start fresh. So, hello. I've been spending the past however long doing. I've been spending about a month and a half. No, sorry. Let's start again. I've been spending about 3 weeks trying to make a video called Relaxing Day. The process has been about filming myself, doing various stuff around the house. So me getting up, going to have a shower, brushing my teeth, uh, making a cup of tea, and then playing my guitar. That's the animation. Uh, my workflow has essentially been I'm gonna make a script. So that was the script basically. Um, kind of talk about the different angles that I want. I then film it on this camera. I then take those shots from the film of the camera and I edit it in DaVinci Resolve. I edit it to a point where we have a 8 FPS video that's been created so that I can draw the individual frames without being too overwhelming. It's much easier to draw 8 frames rather than 24 frames every second. Um, and then we take that, put it into my iPad using an app called Procreate Dreams, which is all about drawing and making cool little animation stuff. And then taking that and making a full animation out of it. The process has so far taken me about 3 weeks, and I intend it to take a further 3 weeks in order to get it complete. So overall, that's about a month and a half complete. Wanted to get done earlier, but that's how it is. And this is the video so far. So as you can see, it looks quite cool. I think it looks really cool. There's a few things that we need to get going on. So of course the animation itself is not fully complete. We've still got around about we're at the 40-second mark or close enough to it. So we've got about 17 seconds left to go. So 17 times by 8, what's that? That's like 80 frames. 8 times 7, 80, 56, one. Got about, yeah, we got about 146 frames left to draw. And then ideally, I want them all colored as well. So we got about, well, we've got a lot more frames to do. Technically, none of the frames are completed yet, but overall, it looks good so far. We also have the audio to complete and then also doing a bit of post editing. So, for example, during my recording, we have this gap here that I want to get rid of. Originally, this was so originally what it was going to be was that the tea was going to get the sugar in, and then the kettle's boiling, and then we pour the water in, and then the fog kind of comes in, or the steam comes in, and we just let it brew. But I think that's wasting time. It's not worth me drawing, and I'm not going to be able to show that effect with my current skill on the animation, so I decided I'm just going to bin that part. I think this, I really love this guitar tuning bit, and some of these other angles here. I really love the guitar, basically, overall. Please ignore my awful looking house. I live in a house share, okay. Have disadvantages. I really love some of these angles as well. Like, I think they look really cool. Like I said, I'm almost finished with it. But we still got a long way to go. Still got the audio to complete, and yeah. Look at this. I really love it. I won't lie. I think if I'm inspired by anything, it's that montage of heck animation thing, which looks really cool. And I think this is kind of I mean, it's a lot more scruffy, but I kind of like the scruffiness of it. I think it suits me better. There's also some stuff like this, so you can see how this animation, I drew the guitar each time and basically the whole body each time. And I actually stopped drawing the background. So here, there's some of these things where I drew the background, but on others I didn't. And also with this, I kind of drew the frames of the kettle, and I just left it static while the rest of it is moving. But I think I'm gonna redraw those as well. Like this one looks fine, I think. In some ways, I think it might be better to remove the backgrounds and to just redraw to just draw the subject, right? So instead of drawing the backgrounds, just draw the subjects. Because like this, you can't really see this is in a shower, so you can't really see the background stuff. And I kind of like it that way. This is the shower head. So it's okay to have some of these details here, but it just focuses on that. And I'd rather do that. We have this bit when I'm grabbing the bottle, and I don't know if this looks that great, to be honest. I kind of wonder in some ways if we could just bin that other bit and just have the shower head. That would be better. I really like this though. The grabbing of the toothbrush. We have, it's probably not going to show too well in the animation in the end, but I just want to keep it because I had multiple takes of me grabbing the toothbrush, and look, my flat, it's partly my responsibility as well, admit, but I had some of my flatmates just leave these toilet rolls around, and when I was grabbing it, I grabbed the toilet roll and I grabbed the toothbrush, sorry, and it was against it went on the toilet rolls and all that, so they ended up being knocked over, and I think that was a cooler animation. It got caught on this I don't know what you call it, but the curtain blind thing. Hope you appreciate my NASA mug as well. I think I like this having the table here, and I think this looks fine. I don't know. It might be better to just draw the whole thing. I found when I drew the whole thing, it looked more real, even though it's much more time consuming. I think as of right now, I'm not going to go back and redraw these. I think I'm better off drawing the rest of the animation first, and then if I have time, I can go back and to those again. But yeah, that's my animation so far. I wanted to make this video because um why did I want to make this video? I wanted to make this video because I wanted to make clear that I'm not gone, I'm not going away, but that I'm doing this, and I'm generally doing this in between things. I'm generally not doing it on stream, but I want to try and do them more on stream. One, so that I can focus on doing it. Two, so that you guys know that I'm doing things that I want to do. I want to show that I'm actually doing this. I'm not. This isn't something that is being. This isn't like a thing that is AI generated. You know, I don't want to show that. I want to show that I'm literally sitting here drawing every single fucking frame. Um, because I am probably at some point going to adopt AI animation as well. But I want to show that this is one of those things that I didn't AI generate. I did draw every single frame, and I'm hoping that the pain that I go through it uh, brings out a good result, because I think I get a lot of joy out of how this looks. This was the thing I wanted to capture, which was the guitar playing in this animation style. I really think this looks cool. You know, it kind of has a Take On Me style, you know, Take On Me song. But it has a more, I think this has a more personal feel, because it isn't just this huge budget song with good cameras and all of that stuff. This is a personal video that took a lot of effort. A lot of effort. I can't describe. This is something that I just didn't know how to do. I knew the separate parts, but I didn't know if this was possible or not. I think it looks really, really cool. Of course, I'm drawing over the things. It's actually funny. I've gone along and say God, my brain's gone. I drew each of these frames. Blah 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 blah. I've learned a lot more about animation in general. So in there's a there's a few videos that I've been watching recently on how to actually animate a jump, and I'm actually interested in going through that, and I might go through that in a stream, but probably after I've done all this. Um, it's weird though, because I feel like I am learning the process that people hate the most in animation, which is the fact that it takes a long time to just get 3 seconds done. You know, 3 seconds, it takes a day for most people. In this, you know, I'm drawing 8 frames. 8 frames probably takes about, I don't know, it probably takes about 20 minutes. 8 frames. So each second's about 20 minutes. So each second's 20 minutes. Each 10 seconds is about 200 minutes. Um, each 10 seconds, 200 minutes. 260. It takes about 3 hours to do about 10 seconds. Um, which sounds about right. So yeah, I could spend 3 hours on stream doing a second. Sorry, I could spend 3 hours on stream doing 10 seconds. It would just be long. It'd just be long and difficult. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I just want a real quick mention. As a laugh, because why not? There's been so much random crap. So, of course, I mentioned about work. We also had an ant infestation. So there was a bunch of ants that were coming in, and it was coming in that room in that conservatory. Um, Thankfully, I did the filming beforehand, but I do remember seeing some ants come in. I was like, okay, this is weird. Ants normally do not come in. And then there was more, and there was a fuck ton more. And I had to get ant traps. I had to get um, what's it called? Like ant spray. I had to get. I was using bathroom cleaner, like a what do you call it? What's the stuff to clean the bathroom? Like, like a bathroom spray, like a bathroom acid cleaner, I guess, so that you wipe the surfaces and whatnot. I was using that for a while, and that didn't stop them, but the ant spray did in the end. The traps probably helped, but yeah, that was a lot to deal with, and there was a lot of hoovering. Literally, they were like bringing in dirt, and it's terrible. It was absolutely terrible. There's just been a lot of random stuff like that that's happened. Um, More recently, because I live in a house share, it's quite hard to get people organized to do anything. One of the weird things about, like how people say like, oh yeah, well, in an anarchist society, everyone will just be working together for a common cause. If you ever have lived in a house share, you know how much pain in the ass it is to just get 5 people to organize to do one thing. But recently, I had it where it was just 3 of us upstairs, right? And there's a bathroom, and I was doing most of the cleaning, and eventually I was just like, you know what, I'm done. I can't be the only one cleaning this bathroom. And it took a while, but eventually the landlord came in and said, this is horrible, this is disgusting, it needs to be clean. And I agreed, obviously, and told the housemates, okay, we need to clean it, this is the way we're going to clean it. I'm going to do the first clean, and you guys can do the next cleaning, after me. And I've done my first round of cleaning, so it took me about 3 hours to clean that bathroom. Not kidding, and it's not a big bathroom. It's a small bathroom, shower, a sink, and a bath. There's not a bath and a toilet. There's no bath. There's no, and it's not that big. You can walk from one end to the other in one step, essentially. It's all very utilitarian and confined. Um, but yeah, so I had to organize people to clean that bathroom. The next person to clean the bathroom has twisted his leg and broken it, and I think we'll see. We have a system where we have a paper on the door, and I have my name on it, and then 2 other people's names underneath it. And I've done my bit. I've moved there's like a little blue tack. We moved the blue tack down, and we're gonna see if this next person cleans it. But he's recently broken his leg, and I hope he's not going to use that as an excuse to not clean the box. But if it is the case, I'm just going to say, look, can you just clean the sink? And I'm hoping that they will say, yeah, okay, I can clean the sink. If they don't, I don't know what can I do. What can I do in order to encourage people to clean the bathroom? The landlord said we might need to bring in a cleaning lady, but that would increase rent, and I'm not going to pay more rent just for a cleaning lady when I know that I can clean it. I know that they can clean it. Um, yeah, yeah, it's just crazy. Um, so yes, we had all that drama, And yeah, and then work. It's just been a lot. Um, like I said, we had this technology that we've been using for the past maybe year or so, and now we're suddenly it's just like, okay, we're just ditching this. Bye. It's just it's crazy. So I want to get a new job now, but trying to balance that with the idea that I want to generate this portfolio and I want to go into a line of work that is more creative. And I'm not saying that this thing that I'm doing is, I don't know how beneficial this is to other people. I'm just trying to do what I enjoy, and I hope that what I enjoy ends up providing value for other people. Enough value that I can live my life doing the stuff that I want to do. And I'm not saying, of course, this isn't like me going, I demand that I want to do this work and people should give me what I want. It's more about me discovering what can I provide that allows people to um, either donate to me and doing these streams and all of that stuff. If that's a method, then that would be cool. I would love to be self-sustaining, but don't know how realistic that is. But making a portfolio, if I can make a portfolio and people go, wow, I want to hire this person to do these animations, or I want to hire this person to do this sound, or I want to hire this person to whatever. Um, that's my thought process, and yeah, it's just tricky. It's tricky trying to balance all these things that I've been wanting to do for a while, and also making sure that I'm focused on doing it, because some days I'm just going to lose my focus, and some days I'm not going to be able to do everything that I want to. And then, so this week, next week, I'm still here, but the week after, I'll have Monday and Tuesday off, but Wednesday, I'm going to be off being going to a wedding. This is the second wedding I'm going to be going to this year. There's just so much going on, so much going on. But I really want to make sure that this is the priority. I've been learning more about writing, and I want to get better at writing. Um, and should probably mention. So there was a time when I started off these streams, I was doing drawing, and then I went into, okay, I'm going to do music and learning music deeply. And although I respect this concept of wanting to learn music and learn it deeply, um, I think there's a lot that I want to write about, and there's a lot that I want to create and do. And I think that sitting down and writing the nuances of what a chord is and right and understanding nuances of all these little things, I just don't think I'm finding it interesting. It's very technical, it's very slow. And although I know the value in it and I still want to be learning it, I don't want to be learning it to a degree that is lesser level. I don't want to be learning where I want to be writing about the experiences, and the emotions, feelings. Um, or if I'm going to be writing in this way, I want to be writing about something more interesting, frankly. Like, I love music and I like music theory, but I need to find a way to balance that alongside the pursuit of creative understanding. There's a difference between writing about maybe what's the best way to write a song versus writing what a double harmonic scale is. You know, that's the difference. I don't want to be writing to a point where I'm going so nerdy and so technical with it that it's kind of dragging me down and not making it interesting. So yeah, so that's the thought process, and I don't know I don't know what that's going to entail. Um, there's a lot of stuff where I also think like, oh yeah, well I want to write about philosophy. I want to learn about, I want to write about philosophy, or I want to write about this or about that. I don't want to be stuck writing about. Sorry, I'm just going to check this message. Okay, good. Um, I don't want to be sitting down and writing about shit. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I want to be writing down about philosophy or my understanding of self, which is a big thing I've been doing lately. I've been learning about like karma and detachment and all of that stuff, which maybe doesn't provide as much value on a technical level. Um, but I don't know. I think I want to, if I'm going to be writing, I want to write about things that interest me. Um, and I don't really want to bog myself down into a particular subject or thought process. If I want to write about animation, I'm going to write about animation. I don't want to be loyal to some sort of uh, identity or ideal that I feel like I should be following. You know, fair enough, if I want to write about music, then I'll write about music, but if I don't like the stuff that I'm writing about, then I shouldn't be writing about it. I should be focusing on I should be focusing on adventure, and I think that's a big thing that I have realized about writing is that writing can also be a form of adventure. I could do a session where it's like, okay, I want to learn about um, Nietzsche, all right, or let's do a music example. I want to learn about um, extended chords because I don't know what extended chords are. I don't know what I don't know how many different types of extended chords there are. I can write about the current knowledge that I have. I know that extended chords are chords that are beyond the seventh chord. So there's ninth chords and 13th chords, and is there 15th chords? 9, 11, 13, 15. Is there 15 chords? I don't even know. But essentially, it would be like, okay, how do I understand this? What things, and it would be essentially like, okay, here's the journey along the way. Oh, and I learn, oh, okay, this chord exists. Here's this chord that I've learned. Here's how I've applied it to my guitar understanding. Here's maybe how I applied it to my piano understanding. And here's how I relate this to my understanding of triads, which I've written about in the past. Here's how it relates to this that I've written in the past. I don't want to be bogged down into, okay, today we're going to be learning about, let's see, let's see real quick. What was I going to? So, product, coursework, modules. So I did introduction to music theory. So here, today I'm going to be learning about scales. Next day I'm going to be learning about harmony. Next day I'm going to be learning about the circle of fifths. Fifths. Next day I'm going to be learning about rhythm and meter. Next day I'm going to be learning about. You know what? I know the circle of fifths. Um, I don't really know. I know some of its function, but I don't know all of it. Um, so maybe a cool subject would be to write down. Um, is the circle of fifths useful for the casual uh, can the circle of fifths benefit the I was going to say casual, but the casual is probably the wrong word. The non-intellectual musician, right? So the idea and what I mean by non-intellectual musician is the the type of musician that doesn't bother learning music theory. If they spent just an hour or two understanding the circle of fifths, would it actually benefit them, or is it kind of just like a thing that is not really worth exploring? That is something that I would be worth doing, because I could sit down, learn the circle of fifths, um, and then explore that journey in turn. So that is what I want to get an understanding of. How can I better educate myself? I want to know the best way that I can educate myself, and I think the best way to educate myself isn't by sitting down and learning the Wikipedia directly, but it might be better to go, okay, I'm going to start off with a question. And that question is going to lead me to motivate me to search Wikipedia and all of this other stuff. And by the end of it, I should have a report that explains this whole process and better pushes me into the future. That is the goal. Now, that might not be the right goal. I'm just going to put it out there now. I thought the right goal a few months back was to lay out an entire course and to have ChatGPT generate me that course, and then for ChatGPT to give me a bunch of reading material. I go through that reading material and I copy it word for word, that reading material, onto my copy that reading material word to word onto, not word to word, but paraphrasing what was said on Wikipedia onto my own writing, that I'd get the knowledge into my head. Now, to some extent that worked, but it was really, really boring, and it took a very long time to just get one of these lessons done. So I want a new approach that will be interesting, boosts my understanding of writing, and gets me closer to my goal. Um, Sorry, that is a lot of talking, but I've just had a lot to think about over the past month or so. So I'm just dumping it all to you now so that you have a better understanding of where I'm at, and that I have a better understanding of now where I'm at. Um, so I'm still doing this. I'm going to continue to do this, this animation. I might do a stream on it. Um, and I think doing a stream will be beneficial, because it means that I know that I'm going to be doing it and I'm going to be focused on it. And it means that I know that there's a video that's being uploaded that at least speaks to the audience. You know, I want to make sure that the audience knows that I know there's not much of an audience right now, there's never an audience, but I want to at least know that this stuff is getting done. It's funny, I still get subscribers. I got 6 subscribers now at this point, and I just want to keep going. I want to make sure that I actually grow an audience, and that and I don't care if it's bots right now, you know, it probably is bots, but if it's not bots, great. But ultimately, I just want to continue growing my channel, continue growing my knowledge, continue showing you what I know, and hope get somewhere with it. I'm one final thing, which is I really, really, really want to get better at speaking and communicating these ideas to you. I've been talking for the past hour, pretty much non-stop, and the big thing that I think I struggle with is how to communicate myself the best way to you guys. I haven't gone back and listened to the recording, and I'm being self-conscious of it now, but I wouldn't be surprised if I had a lot of ums, ahs, whats, and I don't take the time to just pause in between moments. So that's what I'm going to try and focus on doing right now. Yeah, 8 frames per second. That's what I want to focus on doing. Continue focusing on doing these things. communicating with you, showing you what I've got. And I'm hoping that you will come along, whoever you are out there, and subscribe because you want to see something like this. And if you don't, then let me know what you do want to see around this vicinity. And if you, like, I don't know, I'm going to keep doing what I want to be doing until I understand something correctly and I get something right. That's what I want to focus on. So that's it for now. I wasn't expecting it to be this long. I remember back in the day, I would struggle to talk for longer than 20 minutes. And now I'm able to speak for about an hour fairly confidently. That being said, it'd be good if I could make these longer, but I'm working within the limits of what I can, and I hope you appreciate that. I hope you appreciate that it takes a bit of time to get here. It takes a bit of time even to get to this point, and my hope is that I will continue to grow and that you guys will continue to hopefully watch. So anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. I'm going to end the stream now, and I'm going to get on with writing, because that's really just to get on doing. Um, so thank you for that's a genuine thank you to me, to you, watching forever long, guys.